Welcome to Teaching Outside the Box, Personalized Learning in the Classroom, created by Ashlyn Perry and Marnie Hill. For this course, if you go to our very first link, you will find our syllabus with course description, prospective students, objectives, assignments, and so on. So this course was created to define teaching outside the box by analyzing the use of current educational trends and methods used in technology education. It looks to identifying and examining the benefits of non-traditional teaching practices to customize learning environments suitable for all students. And we look to evaluate how the implementation of non-traditional techniques supports and promotes learning motivation for all students. This graduate level course is designed to meet the needs of educators interested in developing teaching styles that lead to creative, individual-led, and motivated learning inside the contemporary classroom. Instructors of all disciplines are welcome and encouraged to stretch traditional teaching style boundaries to accommodate and grow all K-12 students. We decided to create this course so that future educators would know how to successfully step away from the traditional lecture-based learning style and move away from the forgetting and remembering and really get the students involved in their learning. We feel that this could be accomplished through the use of personalized learning throughout the classroom, where students can know the why behind their learning and just find that purpose and motivation and really be involved and engaged throughout the learning process and set goals for themselves and be involved in their own learning path. So they take on a more active role. And with this course, we hope that future educators will be able to transform their teaching and properly personalize learning by using different instructional strategies and student assessment data. Our main focus is around personalized learning, transformational learning, and using student data and increasing student engagement. Our objectives include students will be able to define customized learning and identify customized learning techniques. And students will identify and recognize different forms of student data collection, both formative and summative assessment. Students will use both formative and summative assessments to collect student data. So we made sure that we included the collection of student data because if you don't know where your students are or even know what they're interested in by collecting any type of data on them, you won't know how to personalize their education. So student data is actually very important in this process. And students will identify and implement different learning theories, teaching strategies in their classes. Students will compare and contrast different learning theories and teaching strategies that were implemented in their classes. Students will defend their chosen learning theory and why it is best for customized learning. Students will design a lesson using data collected through formative and summative assessments to create a customized learning experience for their students. Students will design a unit using however many learning theories and strategies that were learned in this course to create a customized learning experience for their students. Students will integrate personal learning solutions into curriculum, taking into consideration gender, race, and religious equality and a culture of acceptance to create a learning environment suitable for all students. Students will establish a foundation for their decisions based on prior research to support their proposed solutions. So a lot of this is actually getting them to create and implement their favorite learning theories and teaching strategies in order to create a personalized learning experience. When creating our assignments, we really wanted to allow these educators as much practice as possible in implementing these different strategies that we would teach in order for them to be able to personalize learning for their students. First, though, they would do a critical analysis paper and they would research an article of their choice based on personalized learning strategies. And then they would have a presentation where they research and present on two different strategies that also follow along with personalized learning. And they would define each and then have a pros and cons list of them. And then we have a pseudo case study where they would develop a personalized learning lesson for the classroom scenario given. Upon completion of the lesson, we will collaboratively critique the lessons as a class by answering the following questions. what is innovative about the lesson, what are the weak spots in the lesson, ideas to debug the lesson, and then what parts of the lesson allow for differentiation. And then there's some more research. So research 2 different learning theories, so that would be different from the presentation assignment from before, that help create a customized learning experience. They will then discuss and defend why one of them is better than the other. And then the final assignment will be using the learning theories and teaching strategies that we would discuss throughout the course. They will create a unit for their class that will create a customized learning experience for their students. And they will also include how they use student data in order to create that. So this will really wrap up everything nicely. They will talk about the different strategies and everything they've used, the different ways of collecting student data and how it was useful, and then also look at the student engagement levels. For our required readings, we have a wide variety of different topics. The first couple are dealing with student data and just why it is useful and how it can improve learning. And we have some on personalized learning, transformational teaching, as well as student engagement. The hope for this course is that educators will be able to completely transform their way of teaching and completely step away from the traditional lecture-based style, and hopefully lead to more success and motivation, engagement, all those wonderful things with their students once the students are able to take a more active role in their learning, which is pretty innovative because that is not really happening now. But we're hoping to teach teachers how to relinquish that control and also feel more comfortable doing that by teaching them how to and giving them all the tools that they need in order to be properly equipped in order to personalize their teaching in their classroom. And just to kind of give you a better idea about why it's wonderful and why it's innovative and why we think this is the way to go, we have a quick video for you.
Fulton County is one of the largest districts in Georgia.
We're a very diverse district, from high-achieving students to students who are struggling and behind in their learning.
Our students are disengaged with the traditional way of learning, so it's time to approach learning in a totally different way.
Syracuse City School District is made up of about 35 schools. The demographics of the district have changed significantly over the past 10 years.
There's definitely a problem with reaching students where they are.
We knew that we had to do something different than what we currently were doing.
Warren Township is on the east side of Indianapolis. We have about 13,000 students. It's a urban district.
When you have to teach a grade level curriculum and you don't have interventions built in to help fill those holes for students that are a couple years behind, it's really hard to progress forward to make sure your students are showing mastery.
How do we help kids accelerate, or how do we remediate them, or how do we help them discover what they want to know more about?
We're a K-8 district in the southwest part of Arizona. We have 17 schools. The biggest challenge that we have, of course, is meeting the needs of such a broad range of students.
A great educational experience for all of our students has always been a struggle because we have so many different backgrounds, so many different needs. We do have a large portion of students that spend half of their time in Northern California, and then they come down around October, and then they stay with us through March.
We were asking the wrong questions. And the questions we were asking were about devices and about network and about which device, and we weren't talking about what does the learning look like.
We all have a need to learn, and we have a desire to learn, and I think that we fail to awaken the wonder in a lot of kids.
When we really started to think about personalized learning, we realized that we had to reimagine the way we delivered education to students, and we had to reimagine the way students were going to consume that education as well.
We're trying to create a classroom in which the instruction and the teaching and the learning is more personalized for students. We are leveraging digital content in order to do that.
Education Elements helped us learn and understand what the models of instruction should look like.
The reason for engaging at Elements is that they are the experts on personalized learning, and they've worked with other districts and they've seen what's worked and what hasn't.
Ed Elements actually set the tone for our pace and cadence of how we were going to deliver personalized learning. We're not going to rush into it. We're going to do this very methodically, and we're going to do it very carefully in order to have the best benefits.
In Warren, we really want our kids to be innovative. We really wanted them to be really smart about, if your teacher is not here, how can I get the information I need so that I can move forward, so I can persevere through this math problem.
On Friday, we have Flex Day, so if you don't get something done during the whole week, you can just do it that day and get everything accomplished.
And so teaching the students how to use technology as a facilitator, teaching students how to use technology as a tutor, teaching students to use technology as a way of discovering or creating something on their own is where we have really put a lot of our focus. Now when you walk into a classroom, you could have 5 or 6 different groups working on different things, and on top of that, within those groups, you could have students working on something they need individually.
We are able to move around and work on different parts of group projects, and we're able to choose how we want to do it, and it's much more independent than a lot of typical classwork.
When you think about personalized learning, it really transforms the classroom or the students first, and so you're trying to engage the student with their interests and with their perspectives so that they can, own that material themselves, and then I'm there to sort of support them as they go on their own personal journey to figure out how to engage with the material.
That's so important. A teacher who's less of a person delivering information and more of a mentor and someone to help you learn that information.
We meet with our students every single day because we believe that that's how they learn best. So the use of technology and all of the other digital tools has really just kind of afforded us those opportunities.
The fan of innovation has been flamed and is roaring now. We have never seen our teachers as engaged in the process of teaching their students. We've never seen our students as engaged in the process of learning.
When I talk to the teachers who are doing the PL, they tell me that they have rediscovered the joy of teaching. They feel like they are creating lessons that are meaningful again. And they say that they feel like they're getting to know their students at a totally different level than they had before.
The thing that I hear from most teachers is that their kids are loving what they're doing. They really like having the opportunity to say which kinds of activities they want. They like the opportunity that they can go faster or slower as they need to. They feel like they have greater access to their teacher.
If I were to describe personalized learning, it's changing it from being on the playground with those pull-up bars and setting the bar high and not really instructing someone how you can get there, and saying, here's a ladder, here's a rope, here's a tree, build something and we'll help you climb as far as you can go. That's what personalized learning is doing.
We thank you for your time and consideration, and we hope that you allow us to create more powerful educators.